Have you ever found yourself replaying a conversation over and over in your head, dissecting every word, every nuance, long after it's ended? Or perhaps you've been caught in a relentless loop of what-ifs about a past mistake, or if-onlys about a missed opportunity. That feeling, that mental hamster wheel, is often what we call rumination. It's a common human experience, this tendency to dwell. And for a moment, it might even feel productive, as if you're gaining insight or preventing future problems. But more often than not, it leaves you feeling drained, stuck, and no closer to a solution. Today, we're going to explore why we fall into these thought patterns, and more importantly, what we can do to gently guide ourselves out of them. Let's start by defining rumination, according to the American Psychological Association. It's described as repetitively and passively focusing on symptoms of distress and possible causes and consequences of these symptoms. Notice those key words, repetitively and passively. This isn't active problem solving. It's getting caught in a loop, dwelling on distress without constructive action. This concept is deeply rooted in psychological theories, such as Susan Nolan Hoeksema's response styles theory from 1991, which first characterized it as passively focusing on symptoms of distress. Another perspective, the goal progress theory, views rumination as a response to feeling stuck, to the failure to progress satisfactorily towards a goal. Unlike productive reflection, which moves you forward, rumination keeps you trapped, often preventing engagement in rewarding activities and worsening both mental and physical well-being. So why do we do it? Why do we get caught in this mental trap? Often it's driven by a well-meaning but misguided belief that dwelling will somehow lead to insight or prevent future negative events. Our minds are trying to help, but they get stuck in a counterproductive mode. Common triggers and causes for rumination are quite varied. Sometimes it's a response to stressful life events. Think relationship conflicts, immense work pressure, or significant life changes. For others, it can be linked to past trauma or adverse experiences, where the mind tries to process or make sense of events long past. Ongoing stressors that feel uncontrollable can also fuel these cycles. Certain personality characteristics also play a role, such as perfectionism, low self-esteem, chronic anxiety, or an excessive concern about how others perceive us. Even everyday social situations can trigger rumination, where we replay conversations, worrying about every word we said or how others might have interpreted us. It's important to understand that not all deep thinking is rumination. Researchers distinguish between two main forms. The first is brooding. This is the maladaptive form, characterized by a self-critical, passive focus on negative experiences, their causes and consequences, but without any constructive problem-solving. This type of rumination is strongly linked to increased distress and poorer mental health outcomes. Then there's reflective pondering. This can be a more adaptive form. It involves thoughtfully considering a situation or problem to gain insight, understand meaning, or prepare for future action. While it can lead to problem resolution, it's crucial to note that prolonged reflective pondering without action can also become maladaptive, blurring the lines with brooding. The key difference lies in whether your thoughts are leading you towards understanding and action, or simply cycling without resolution.
The pervasive impact of rumination cannot be overstated. It's considered a significant transdiagnostic process, meaning it underlies and exacerbates numerous mental health conditions. If you struggle with rumination, you might find it intensifies and prolongs feelings of depression and anxiety. It can seriously impair your problem-solving abilities, lead to sleep concerns, and even contribute to impulsive behaviors. Beyond mental health, rumination maintains chronic stress responses in the body, increasing the risk of inflammation and physical health issues. Furthermore, it elevates the risk of substance use disorders, eating disorders, and non-suicidal self-injury, as people seek ways to cope with the overwhelming mental burden. The constant mental exhaustion makes it difficult to concentrate, impairs decision-making, and can lead to profound feelings of hopelessness. Research such as that by Peter Kinderman has consistently highlighted this link between traumatic life events, rumination, and the development of depression and anxiety. So, if rumination is so detrimental, what can we do instead? The good news is that breaking this cycle is absolutely possible, and it involves active, multifaceted strategies. Let's start with some behavioral interventions. One of the most immediate actions you can take is distraction. This isn't about ignoring your problems forever, but about intentionally interrupting the negative thought loop. Engage in an activity that requires your focus. Exercise, do chores, read a captivating book, or connect with a friend. These activities shift your attention and give your mind a break from the ruminative cycle. Another powerful strategy is problem solving. If you find yourself dwelling on an issue, consciously pivot to active problem solving. Break down the issue into smaller, manageable parts, create an action plan, and take even small, actionable steps. This moves you from passive dwelling to active engagement. It's also incredibly helpful to understand your triggers. Pay attention to what situations, times of day, or even specific people tend to initiate your ruminative thoughts. Awareness is the first step to making a change. Don't underestimate the power of seeking support. Talking to a trusted friend or family member can offer new perspectives and help you recall past successes, reminding you of your resilience. And remember the benefits of lifestyle interventions. Physical exercise and spending time in nature are proven ways to improve mood and significantly reduce rumination. Next, let's consider cognitive and mindfulness-based strategies. Perspective taking involves reevaluating your thoughts. Ask yourself, is this truly as bad as it feels right now? Or what's the real impact of this perceived mistake in the grand scheme? Challenging your own narrative can be liberating. Self-esteem enhancement is also vital. Actively review your strengths, set realistic goals for yourself, and practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a dear friend. Mindfulness and deep breathing are foundational. Meditating for even a few minutes can help clear the mind, and focusing on your breath is a simple yet effective way to disrupt thought patterns and ground yourself in the present moment.
For some, therapeutic approaches are invaluable. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is highly effective. It helps you challenge irrational thoughts, develop new, healthier approaches to situations, and teaches relaxation techniques. A more targeted approach is rumination-focused cognitive behavioral therapy, RFCBT. This therapy is specifically designed to help individuals recognize rumination as a habit, identify its unique triggers, and develop positive, constructive responses. Research suggests RFCBT shows significant potential in reducing depressive symptoms and preventing relapse. And while rumination isn't a disorder in itself, unlike gastrointestinal rumination disorder, it often co-occurs with underlying conditions like depression, anxiety, or OCD. In such cases, medication, such as SSRIs, SNRIs, or TCAs, may be part of a broader treatment plan to address these conditions, thereby indirectly alleviating rumination. It's important to acknowledge some nuances here. A key challenge, for example, is helping individuals differentiate between truly adaptive reflective pondering and the unhelpful brooding. The goal isn't to stop thinking, but to shift towards constructive thought that serves your well-being. Also, while distraction is often suggested, some literature implies that positive distraction alone may not always be as potent a tool as once thought, highlighting the need for more comprehensive, integrated strategies. As we look to the future, the field continues to deepen its understanding of rumination's neurobiological underpinnings. The focus remains on refining therapeutic strategies and developing effective interventions that empower individuals to recognize and actively manage this detrimental cognitive habit. Organizations like the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, ADAA, and research conducted by institutions such as the University of Liverpool continue to inform these crucial efforts. Understanding why you ruminate is the first step towards changing that pattern. Remember, it's not about judging yourself for these thoughts, but about learning to gently redirect your mind towards more productive and compassionate ways of processing your experiences. By implementing these strategies, whether it's active distraction, mindful awareness, or seeking professional support, you can break free from the cycle of rumination and cultivate a calmer, more empowered mental landscape. You have the capacity to choose where you place your attention, and in doing so, regain control over your mental well-being.